Shut up and sit down.
Welcome, everybody, to the DwnFwdPUNCHcast. This is episode 23. I'm your host, Jason Saris, and with me is David Reed.
I'm here with you, Jason Saris.
Robot Dave again. And joining us again is our special guest and friend of the show, Scott Pogros. How you doing, Scott?
I'm doing well. Thanks for having me back.
I appreciate you taking time of your Destiny 2 mining on Twitter and the internet to join us today.
I'm about ready to go dark, so nothing's spoiled. I got 10 days left to go. So
Zero Dark 30.
Yes.
In honor of Destiny 2. So today we're going to get into the announcement about how, or at least the teaser announcement, that Xbox is going to be retooling a bunch of the concepts behind achievements. But before we get into that, I want to remind everybody to subscribe to the channel, comment down below with any of your thoughts on the topics that we talk about today, and make sure to like the video, share it with your friends. So, back to achievements.
Mm-hmm.
Mike Ibarra, which is like a VP within the Xbox organization, was interviewed by Windows Central.
Okay.
And in conversation, it came up that Xbox is currently trying to fundamentally change how achievements work within the platform. Are either of you guys achievement hunters at all?
I am not an achievement hunter whatsoever.
Okay. Scott?
No, I'm not.
Have you ever had a game, though, that just kind of captured you and you go, you know what? I'm getting all the achievements in this game, though.
I think you know which game that is for me.
Of course. That's a tough one, though. That takes years to get, I believe.
And yes, since I was last on the podcast, I did 100% Destiny.
Nice.
He got a platinum.
Congrats.
I did.
That's fantastic.
Done.
When achievements rolled out, because it was with the 360, right?
Mm-hmm.
When they first came out, I had a buddy that was super into achievements. It's like, this is great. I can get these achievements. And I was like, who cares? It doesn't mean anything. Why do you care? And I found myself being sucked into this achievement thing. Now, I wouldn't call myself an achievement hunter because I don't go actively looking for them. But if there's a game, certain games I feel like I could easily get these achievements. I might as well. And I feel like my score should kind of reflect the fact that I like video games. So I feel like I need to, I'm excited enough to get ones, and I look for things. I've kind of trained my brain now as I'm going through. I'm like, well, there might be an achievement for doing something like this, and then I will actively go looking for collectibles or whatever the case might be, just because if it's there, I want to get it, but I won't go like super out of my way. If they're retooling this, first of all, I guess what do you guys think that could lead to? What could that mean to fundamentally change how achievements work?
Well, I think they've been kind of tinkering with it for a while, because in for a while, one step they did, they started you, depending on what your score was, you got like a little medallion or something that you
are talking about like the rare achievement?
No, not the rare achievement. I thought there was they were doing like badges
Total
or
gamer
something.
score.
Yeah, weren't they doing like something with like medallions or badges you could get depending on what your total gamer score was?
Yes.
And I know they added like your rare achievements, but it's nice to hear that different tone when you get a rare achievement. But sometimes I think it's just because no one plays that game, and that's why it's rare.
Could be.
Like I got a rare achievement for Division the other day because I was checking out the new.
Was
update.
it just launch the game and they thanked you for playing it?
Oh, I got that day one right here. No, but it was like it was something like I got a high enough score in the survival game mode that I got a rare achievement. It's like 1% of gamers. I'm like, is that 1% of the player base that has ever played this game, or 1% of all Xbox Live gamers? Because if it's 1% of all Xbox Live gamers, it doesn't mean much because no one plays this game anymore.
Right.
I think it's of the people that play the game. I think it's 1%.
In other words, they have to have data to build it against, so it's not
Right.
like
Okay.
it's 1% of people who own the game that have unlocked achievements in the game. Most likely 1% of them is, and I think those numbers are somewhat incorrect because PlayStation does it too, and it'll be like 1%, and I'm like, it's not always 1%. Where's the 4%? You know what I mean? Or like the 2% or something.
Well, I've unlocked a few of the rare achievements, and I don't remember where the threshold is, like at what percentage it becomes a rare achievement. But the number has moved. Like there has been the one that was like 1%, or one is 3%
or less. 5%
Might
or
be.
something.
That
what if
sounds
it's
right.
rare one day, and then by the time you get it the next day, it's not rare anymore, and then do you?
You wouldn't know though, because once you get it the first time around.
But what if you're hunting that one? You're hunting that achievement, and then you're like,
think
it's
you
rare.
just-
I'm going to get this, and then you
think-
fail. You go back the next day, and
But
then
that's
say enough people got it, and now it's not rare anymore.
Does anybody know? Like,
I don't know if that's a thing.
I don't know if you can know what's rare and what's not before you
PlayStation
get
It
it.
shows
tells
you.
you.
Like
Yeah.
if you log into your Xbox and you do the achievement section for the game, it'll have a diamond next to it if it's considered rare.
Oh,
Yeah.
gotcha.
It'll show you that.
PlayStation has a little pyramid, and it's at the bottom of the pyramid.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, obviously, achievements are something that people as a whole are into because PlayStation has added them. Nintendo, I think there's
It's just
talk
another
of something
collection
maybe
aspect
some down the
of it.
road.
Yeah.
Well, and
Yeah.
think about it. Like, you might love a game, or even if you don't love it, but maybe if you like want to get all the achievements, you'll do stuff. Like, one of the dumbest achievements I ever got in a game was I watched the big bird dog rat thing from Last Guardian.
Yeah.
You watch him pooping. And it's called When Nature Calls or something. Is what it was, and it popped up on my screen.
Well, they even started they started giving you achievements for doing stuff on apps. Like I remember, I watched so many episodes of a show at its time. And it's like, oh, hey, you got this.
Yeah,
You
but
got like
that's
5
so
games.
silly.
You got
They don't
5
get-
gamer store for watching like 5 episodes of the same show. On
The
Congratulations.
apps ones actually
luck
don't
getting
give
all
you
the-
gamer
the
points.
achievements on Netflix. Yeah, I can't wait to see that. Watch every bad horror film we've ever released.
like that would take you a long
You
time.
finished Gilmore Girls, super rare achievement.
Those ones you can unlock. You can hit the actual achievement, but it doesn't give you anything in your gamer score.
Okay.
Because when the Xbox One first came
Shows you
out,
how much time I paid.
and I saw that, I'm like, wow. I'm like, how many people are just beefing up their score by like watching
Netflix.
Yeah, so
And
like I was
Hulu.
going through, I'm like, I wonder how much this is giving people, and I watched a bunch until I got one, and it's just like a token of like, hey, you've done it. It doesn't actually do anything.
You've
to your gamer score.
wasted 6 hours of your day.
Yeah, like, ding, get a life and a job. But people are into the achievements at least as a whole. I like them I like the achievements that like. As dumb as it is that you get an achievement for watching the bird dog poop, like something like that, I think is a worthwhile achievement
It's
because
funny.
you
Yeah.
get it. And you're like, oh, here's an experience that because I was,
Being
involved in the
inquisitive. Or just happen to have the camera in the right place at the right time.
Right.
The ones that I hate are the ones that it's like, do this for 36 total hours. Why? That's
Yeah,
dumb.
I don't
Like
know.
you shouldn't penalize me if I can get through the game in a certain amount of time frame because you want me to stick around. Like Layers of Fear. Have you
Okay.
played this game?
No, but I heard. Oh, I know what it was. That was the game that came out that was supposed to be like the Silent Hill PT thing, and it was essentially like, well, look, guys, Silent Hill didn't come out, so here's Layers of Fear, and this game's supposed to be just like, and it wasn't that good apparently.
I've played about
supposed
half
to
of
be
it, and it's creepy. It's got some creepy elements to it. But one of the achievements is like you stare at a painting for like 70 hours or something. Not like one individual painting, but there's a lot of paintings within the house that you're in,
Yeah.
and the guy himself is a painter. So as you're going through and you're looking at paintings, like they apparently want you to spend a lot of time looking at the paintings, and then eventually you'll have enough contact time with your eyes that eventually you unlock the achievement.
And
That's a silly achievement.
That's
for
really
me.
stupid. And what they should do is when Xbox revamps everything, like what that achievement should have been is like, if you decide to take this achievement on, you get a $10 credit on your electric bill because you left your Xbox on for 70 hours staring at a painting. That's stupid.
So I know you're making a joke, but
That's
But
what they're talking
You still got that
about.
achievement, didn't you?
no, I've not gotten that achievement. But so the revamping, as far as I understand it, is supposed to be in addition to. It's going to be a complement to the existing system, not a replacement of it.
Right.
So one of the things that I've been looking around online, I've been listening to some podcasts, trying to read up on other people's opinions. Some people are wondering if it would be some kind of monetary compensation if you hit certain achievements or you get certain kind of score. Is that something you think is plausible?
I don't think so, because when I was reading, I think it was the article on Eurogamer, they were talking about that. The example that the one, who was it again? You just mentioned the name.
Mike Ibarra?
Mike Ibarra. I think he mentioned the Eurogamer article that was referenced here. Was he's saying like, hey, somebody who plays Halo 5 and is like top 10 in multiplayer, but doesn't like play the campaign and unlock achievements. We want to reward them for how good they are in that game. Not just like hitting bullet points, like going through the campaign or getting 100 headshots on grunts or something like that. He's like, we want to reward the time they're putting into the part of the game they like the most. Or if they're just playing 1 or 2 games, getting some reward based on that, not just hitting achievements.
Yeah.
Which is a good point. Like, some people just like playing multiplayer. Some people really dig PvE aspects or single player campaigns, and that's sometimes where a lot of these achievements are tied to.
Yeah.
But if you spend a lot of your time in multiplayer, having something that reflects that and he said like a total more accurate reflection of who you are as a gamer. Someone like me, who doesn't have a lot of time to invest in like 6, 7, 8, 9 games at a time, which is like 1 or 2 that really pique my interest and keep my interest. That seems rewarding for me, but it's like, no, it'd be nice, but I'm not like all wrapped up in it.
So do you think it's got to be limited to a visual thing then, where it's something, whether it's a badge system or could it possibly be like things that you put on your avatar that notes like, hey, I'm super sweet at Destiny or whatever?
Yeah, it might be, because they said they're revamping like the whole 3D avatar thing, aren't they?
Well, it should be like in-game stuff. I think if you add monetary, like if you get like a literal dollar value, reward for something, or if you get like 2-3 months of Xbox Live, I think the problem is that people are going to there's going to become a community of people that try, and there already is one essentially right now, but there's going to be even more of a community to try to find exploits, to exploit all these games to get achievements so that you can essentially earn money by getting achievements. Now, Steam in a way does that. Steam, instead of doing achievements necessarily for every game that give you monetary value, so every game you buy ends up with you get 5 trading cards, right? But you have to put time into the game to earn the trading cards. It's like an hour per card. So 5 hours in a game, you've collected all 5. That's the maximum you can get. And if you want to get more, there's a community marketplace where you can essentially then buy other people's cards, or you can go into trades if you really want to. But most people,
I don't know what
there's like a dancing piece of hair. Anyway, but like I get like 5 trading cards, per game, right? And then I'm like, okay, and like some games that I really love, like I'll try to collect all 10, and then you craft them into a badge, and you basically end up with this badge for the game that just says, hey, you've done this or whatever. It's fine. But most of the time, I just take them and I sell them in the marketplace, and I make like 6 to 12 cents on each one of them. And I'll be honest, like sometimes I have this massive collection of stuff and I throw it out there. I get emails like crazy. It's like, you sold something on the marketplace. I'm like, oh, great. Don't care. It's like 6 cents. But I go and look at my balance and I'm like, oh, I have like $8 in here right now. I'm like, I want to go buy a game with that. And so I get this tiny, tiny monetary value, but it makes me want to go and spend money on the Steam the Steam store, basically. And I thought that was really cool. In conjunction, though, with achievements, you mentioned earlier, like, if we had an interest, if that's our thing. I've never been like that. But one thing that I found that caught my attention, and to this day, we're talking 3 years later, this one game still, I'm still trying to get all the achievements in it because there's over 300 of them. And most games have like 20, 15, maybe 30.
This is Binding of Isaac.
Yeah, it is. Okay. And the reason I bring this up is because in that game specifically, every achievement is tied to an item that appears in the game, either a creature or a level or a boss or something, or a new character or whatever. Everything you do in that game that you earn an achievement for is an actual unlock in the game. And so I have like 319 or 309 achievements out of 329 right now, and I'm 20 away. Like, that's, by the way, the game also has had 2 expansions. I've maxed it out twice already. And then they're like, here's more achievements. And I'm like, stop it.
That seems that's too much, though.
I know it is,
like,
but
300 something achievements is way too many.
A lot of them initially are just like boom, 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 boom.
They're little like 5 gamer score points.
Right.
They're really easy.
But it's not even like point values, really. It's just like, you did this. Like, it's just you hit the achievement, and that's really all it is. There's no value to it. But because there's a reason for me to unlock them in the game, to me to unlock the actual contents of the game, I go back to thinking about this. Do you remember in GoldenEye how in order to get the multiplayer bonuses, there was no cheat code? You had to play single player and beat certain levels on certain
and then you can
difficulties
unlock that
certain
map
times.
or whatever. Yeah.
And you would unlock like lasers or like the golden gun or whatever, or like rockets only and stuff. And if you think about it, and unless you did those achievements, right, and they were, you couldn't get those multiplayer bonuses. So it kind of made you want to play the game. Now, granted, it didn't help. It didn't hurt that it was a great game, which, by the way, turned 20 years old the other day. Did you see that?
It did, yeah.
Yeah. But it was fun to go through that and unlock those achievements to actually get an in-game reward for it, right? And I love that. I think that to me is the way the game should do it. Now, granted, don't make anything that's game-breaking or like you can't beat the game unless you get this. I'm talking general stuff, but there's some really cool item out there maybe. Like, if you only unlock this achievement, you get the cool item and maybe the game's more fun. I don't know, whatever.
Didn't they kind of do that on 360? Like, you would beat certain aspects of a game and you would get, a vanity piece for your avatar.
Sure.
Because I remember
that's fun.
Because I remember for Reach, like, I grinded the heck out of Halo Reach because I wanted... what was the one Spartan? He had the skull etched into his helmet for Reach. I can't remember his name right now.
I know what you're that like. It was like a Evo helmet or something. I know what you're talking
it
about.
had the skull etched into
yeah.
it. I found out what I had to do for that, and I grinded the hell out of that game to get that.
And that's fun.
And I wanted that, and just like I don't remember what I had to do for it, but it would that stuff like that. If they really put an emphasis back on like avatars again instead of just like a little like picture, I'd be made more inclined to do certain things for that. But the only time I really care about gamer score is when I'm close to like 100%.
Right.
Because like Destiny was like I just did stuff in the game and I had like 3 achievements left. I'm like, well, hell, I'm this close. I might as well just try and do it.
Or friendly competition is good too. Like if you and I are still at 15,000, right? You get a game and now you're at 15,500. I'm like, man, I gotta beat Jason. Friendly competition is a great little aspect of that too. But then like some of your friends are like, I got 38,000 gamer score. And you're like, okay, I have 15. So what?
The thing that I don't like is when games are going to make it. I don't think that I don't like the idea of like limiting content by a skill, right? So like you shouldn't have to, some games you have to play online and you have to win like 26 matches in a row online. Imagine if you had to do that for the achievement, but also to unlock a certain character to play with, like. There's a limit, I think. Like I like those things being separate to a point.
They have to be somewhat obtainable, but still make you want to put the effort into doing it.
Right. Do you guys know? I forget his name. His gamer tag is like Stallion83 or something like that. It's that guy that he was like the first one to hit 1 million gamer score.
Okay.
I follow him on Twitter. He's playing something now. I wish I knew what title it was, but I missed whatever tweet where he's talking about it. But he's got 999 out of 1,000 gamer score on one particular game. Somebody made a game where one thing that you do, and it's the last achievement you can get, is just 1 gamer point. Like that is absurd to me. Like you shouldn't just put achievements in there just to be like, let me see how difficult I can make it, or let me make a way to keep people just for really combing through this thing. Because a lot of these achievements now are like, keep playing to figure out what it is, right? They don't even tell you what it is.
Secret achievement.
Yeah, secret achievement. Which I get to a point, but it has to be somewhat attainable because I lose interest after a while. It's like, well, you know what? I'm not just going to sit here and walk around blindly for 30 hours to figure out what this last achievement is. You might,
but most people aren't going to do that. They're just going to go and look online and they're going to find out how to do it.
Right.
And I don't know how those people get that information. That's fascinating
I don't know either.
to me. It's kind of like the people that like build strategy guides before a game came out. You're like, how did you know all this?
All these. I remember going to GameFAQs when I was a kid, and I'm like, I don't know how these people how do you do this?
I have
like
no
this
idea.
would be so time consuming, and no fun to play the game. Like right there. We go.
Some people like documenting things, man.
Yeah, they like document it, or they're collectors, completionists, and they just want to have every ship
I did it with Myst. I went through Myst and I literally wrote down the strategy and the solution to every single puzzle. Did you really, or are you messing with me? No, I'm not.
Okay. Right.
But it's funny, I found the DS version of it today.
Did you?
Yeah.
Nice.
But anyway, I wrote down, I borrowed the game from a friend. It was my mom's friend. She's like, I don't know how to play this game. I like it, but I don't really know what to do. And I was like, oh, let me take it. The game came with a journal, if you remember.
Yeah.
So in the journal, I wrote down literally the solution and how to do every single puzzle in the game. I wrote an entire book, basically.
Well, I remember
and then
I had
handed
notes.
it back to her. I was like, here, you can beat the game now. And I literally wrote a game facts for her.
Nice.
That was the only time I ever did it.
Yeah.
But it was fun. I mean, for a little bit, it was like I felt like I'd achieved something.
Did you give her like the straight to the end thing? Because if you play that game, you can actually beat the whole game in like 7 minutes if you know what you're doing.
Oh no, I didn't do
that.
Like,
you go straight to the tower, you put in this code, and then you open it up, and then you're done.
Well, yeah, because the game didn't have like any randomized generation of.
Well, normally you have to you're right, yeah, it was like a specific code, but normally you had to do like all these things to get to the spot where you found the book. They gave you the code to get into the tower, but if you knew what it was, you could go straight to the tower. It's like second playthrough, done in 7 minutes. Like, oh, how do I play this thing? Just go here, do this, done.
World record.
I like that they're trying to think about this, and I think that, again, this is something that's a byproduct of Microsoft losing the console war in this generation because they're trying to think of new ways to engage people, and I think that's great. It's a very consumer focused philosophy.
Evolution, man.
Exactly. I like the achievement process. I think it's great if they're going to find ways to make it more involved and I think you were saying like where people are putting time in the game this way. I think he kept using the word celebrate. You can celebrate people that are not just playing one aspect of a game. I'm really curious to see what this looks like. I like the idea of a visual. I'm kind of hesitant to get excited about something where it's like I get to. Like, I don't know that I want to pick, like, I don't want to brag about all these things in there. It's one thing if you hit an achievement or if it's like, wow, you've played a ton of Halo 5. we're going to assign this badge to you. This way people know you're great at Halo 5. That to me feels much better than it's like, you have the option to put this badge on there to tell everybody, like, look how awesome I am at Halo 5.
Yeah.
That seems kind of chachi.
It's bragging rights.
I guess.
Yeah, that's all it is. That's what most things are in games.
Yeah.
What does your KDR mean? It means nothing. It's bragging rights.
But at least that's, I guess. But there's some, I mean, that's a statistic, right? I like if it's like, you do something and it's like every time you get to a certain point of something, it'll put a certain badge for people to see. That's great. And you can work towards that badge because you want the bragging rights. That's fine. But it's when it's, here's an optional thing to now display now that you have it. The actual commitment from, at least for me, where it's like I have this option to put this braggadocious thing up there.
Well, just think about your kids, man. They're going to, eventually they're going to get older, they're going to start dating and stuff and be like, hey, I think we're good for each other. Be like, but here's the problem. You're not really my type. Your gamer score's too low.
You only got 10,000
like,
gamer
look,
score.
I need to be with somebody who's got at least a 28,000 gamer score, and you're more like a 22.
That's kind of like an episode of Black Mirror. You ever watch that show?
Yeah, and I love every one of those. It's ridiculous. The show's amazing. And every episode makes me feel very uncomfortable. it's fantastic. I don't know. Achievements have always, for me, I've never cared about them. But if a game makes me care about them, then I do. Mm-hmm. Like I mentioned with Isaac, in most games, if I get a cool achievement, that's fine. Sometimes you get an achievement, and this happens to most people. You get it, and you don't even realize you got it.
It's like, what'd I do?
Yeah, exactly. And then you go look at it, and you're like, what's that achievement? And I like how, by the way, I think this is great. You can just hit that button, like the Xbox button or the PlayStation button, and it takes you right to the screen. It's like no navigating any menus. It knows exactly what you want.
Yep.
And it just takes you there. And then it's like you did this thing, and you're like, oh, that's kind of cool. And then you just move on. And I do like to see what they are. But some of them are like, you finished chapter 1. I'm like, so? I could have done that in my sleep. Thanks for the achievement.
Yeah.
Participation trophies.
Yeah, that's exactly what it is. You're right. Congratulations, you turned the game on.
5 gamer score.
Right.
There you go.
I like ones. I like the way Telltale does it, where you get achievements sometimes by going back and playing the other versions of the story, because you can, like, those are very narrative driven and you can go one way or another.
Sure.
And it gives you incentive to go back and see how the story could have turned out, which I think that's a great utilization for it. But again, I'm glad to see that it's an expansion upon the existing system rather than a full, repeal and replace.
We stay away from more details, but I'm very excited to see what they're going to do with it, because I would love to find some way to make it interesting for me to want to hunt them down.
I don't think that they put any kind of timetable on this, right?
No, they didn't. It was just kind of very, very vague, very general. It's kind of like, hey, we're thinking about doing this thing to reward you for the type of player you are. It's kind of just, it seemed like very off the cuff in the article I read.
Yeah, I don't think it was the original intention of the interview. It just came up and then he made a few comments about it. So, well, it's exciting. I look forward to seeing what happens, and I've said it before, and at some point we'll have to do a full episode on it, but I think that Microsoft losing this generation is one of the best things that could have happened to Xbox owners.
You know what's going to happen?
What?
You're going to have an achievement that I won't. It'll be like, you're going to turn on your Xbox One X, and it's going to be like, achievement unlocked. You just purchased the most badass system in the world. And I'm going to be like, and I'll get an achievement.
It's going to make it like a little air guitar noise.
My achievement's going to be like a -5. And it'll be like,
it's going to be here,
sucker, you still own the S. It's like the Xbox One S.
Here since day one. Yep. 10 gamer score for Jason.
Congratulations, day 1 edition unlocked. It's like, damn it.
You're a fool. 10 gamer score. All right, so I think that's everything for episode 23. If you'd like to follow us on Twitter, you can follow the group at DwnFwdPUNCH. That's at DwnFwdPUNCH. If you'd like to follow me, I'm at Sergio Armani. If you'd like to follow Dave,
under Dave at
every time
at David_B_Reed.
You need to get a tattoo, and it's got a tattoo on your arm. This way you can read.
No, I just need to get a cooler Twitter handle.
Change
one that's not so corporate.
Start a new account.
It's super boring. Like,
you can change it.
What if I change it?
I don't think as long as it's not taken, you can change it. Right?
Yeah. What if put like the real David Reed? Maybe I'll make it that.
Nobody's done that before.
Nah, I'm sure they haven't.
Yep.
I'll get
what about your Twitter stream?
Oh, so my Twitch stream is going to be
Twitter stream.
It's my Twitch username is Paul Blart Malblart, so check me out on that.
I'm sure that's not taken on Twitter.
It is, maybe not. You're right. I'm going to do that. I'm just literally going to assume that persona.
That's
maybe
good.
Kevin James.
Keep all your stuff the same. That's what I do. My gamer tag Sergio Armani.
Yeah, I know,
My Twitter
but-
handle, Sergio Armani. If you want to look me up on AOL Instant Messenger back in time, Sergio Armani.
I just
Consistency.
there's been a constant evolution in usernames for me, and I don't like any of them. So I just
Pick
deal with
better
what I
ones.
have.
Pick better.
You come up with a better
Try
one
harder.
for me.
Super Samurai.
Sorry, we
Blade.
can't all have.
We talked about that.
Armani suits and be
months
super
ago.
cool, and whatever Sergio means.
I'd tell you, but then
Somebody's
I'd have to
first
kill
name.
you. Scott, where can everybody follow you?
At Pogo599 on Twitter.
Cool. Do you stream anything like that?
I don't. I don't stream.
So don't watch him stream.
Don't watch
because
me
you can't.
because I don't do it.
Can't do it if you want.
occasionally
to
ha-
stream.
I was actually streaming the other day.
Were you?
I was streaming on Mixer the other day.
I might have to give it.
I don't remember what I was, but Mixer's really easy to use.
Oh yeah, it's super easy.
Yeah, it worked seamlessly. Unlike, I mean, I've had on and off problems with Twitch when I try to do it from the Xbox, and Mixer was a piece of cake.
Yeah, I do mine on PC, and I use OBS Studio, which is the main program that people use.
Yeah.
And it's cool. You can set up your little camera view in the corner, and then you can obviously set up your page to have a bunch of information and stuff on it. And I'm still getting used to certain things on it, but I love it. I can just put my character in the corner, like my face. Man, that was the worst. Anyway, so I put my little character in my in the corner, and then I have the chat window up on my second monitor, and I'm people are jumping in, I'm chatting with them and stuff, and they're giving me tips, and I'm telling them to get out and don't tell me what to do. And no, just kidding. It's a lot of fun though.
Way to alienate your viewer base.
It is a different aspect when you play a video game and you are literally in entertainment, and you're in an entertaining mode, right?
Yeah.
You're I'm trying to entertain people that are watching me play video game. It's so weird.
It's so hard to do too when you don't live by yourself. Like if you have children sleeping upstairs, so
Right.
it's not really ideal to
I have
talk
the
while
same
you're playing
problem.
game.
My wife's in
So-
the other room, and I can't be loud.
So they're crowding around my Connect, all right, I'm going in here now. Shh, nobody yell at me. Okay. But anyways, if I didn't say it already, comment down below. Let us know what you think about changes to achievements. What should they have? What would you like to see be done differently? And subscribe to the channel. Share it with everybody you know. And that's it. This has been episode 23. We'll catch you next time. Until then, keep on gaming.